going to start by turning your head, okay? So head from side to side, looking over your shoulder, really stretching those muscles at the side of your neck. Keep yourself moving, slight stretch at the end, but then turning to the other side. Okay, now a little bit slower on this one. You're going to go from chin down to chin up, okay? So lifting up and then take it quite slow, otherwise you might get a bit dizzy. Bring your chin down to your chest. Slowly up, and then slowly down to your chest. Up and down. Good. Okay then. So now we're going to go for your head tilt. Okay. I'm just going to change the camera slightly. Otherwise, that's a bit better, I think. So I'm propping up with all sorts of bits and bobs now. Let's go with that. Hopefully that's a bit better. Okay. So now you're going to tilt your ear down to your shoulder, okay? So just to the side and then over to the other side. Keep this one steady. You don't want to sort of crick your neck either way. So just keep movement slow, but you do want to stretch at either end. Couple more of these each side. Lovely stuff. Okay, arm time. So we're going to go for arm swings this time. So take your hands forward, all the way up past your ears, and then back and down. Keep it slow. Remember, we're just mobilizing everything rather than trying to get things really warm. So slow and steady. Try and keep your elbows nice and straight. Really stretch behind you. Trying to move only from your shoulders. So try and keep your body nice and still. Sometimes it's quite tempting to move your spine at the same time. So keep that still. One more circle. Good stuff. Okay, so upper body twist. We're going to go for our good old torso rotation. So hands together. Keep those hips pointing towards the front and twisting from side to side. Keep it slow. Try not to swing round. You're carefully taking your body from side to side, not just letting momentum do the work. It's all about the control. Let's go for one more turn to each side. And then back to the front. Lovely stuff. So we're going to go for our hip circles that we did in the beginning first sessions. Okay, so holding on if you want to. You're going to lift your leg up. Okay, you're going to open it out as far as you can to the side and then downwards. We'll immediately switch to the other leg. So you can bring it up into a knee raise. Slowly take it out and then drop it down. Okay, go within your comfortable range. So up, out to the side and down. Other leg up, out to the side and down. We'll do once more on each leg. Try and keep your body still rather than cheating and swinging with your upper body. Okay, so upper body stays still. Movement comes only from your hips. Okay. Last one, and down. Good stuff. Okay, knee bends. We're going to do sort of a mini little squat with this one, okay? But this time you're really going to focus on the position that you're in. So what I'd like you to do is take hold of something, okay? So that takes the pressure off your legs. And you're going to bend your knees, okay? Just a little bit, so you go straight down. So keep your body up, bend your knees. From this position, what I'd like you to do is now imagine someone's pushing your hips behind. So you stick your hips out and then come back up. Okay, so holding on again. Bend your knees so that you sink straight down just a little bit, and then fold at the hips and push your hips out behind you and up. I think I likened it before. So with the hips pushed back, it's like you're trying to shut a cupboard door in the kitchen. You're busy, you're doing something, you just want to shut it closed. It's a bit like that, okay? So again, very gently bend the knees, very slightly, and then push the hips back, pushing that cupboard door closed. Up. We'll do one more. Very gently bend the knees, then push those hips out behind you, and then back up. Good stuff. Last one is our ankle mobility. So hopefully you can see my feet from there. Taking one foot in front of you, and you're going to draw a circle with your toes. Nice big circle. Really nice and big. Change direction, other way. Really big circle. Lovely, now change legs. Take that foot out, and again, drawing that circle with your toe. And then back the other way. Really exaggerate the motion. Try and get that ankle to move through the biggest range of motion that you can do. Good, and bring that together again. Perfect. Okay, so moving on to our balance bits today. So I thought what we would do today, because we run through quite a few different just pure balance exercises, I thought that we would work a little bit more towards learning to engage our core. Okay, so if you think about it, your trunk, so just this section here, is almost like the cylinder to keep you still whilst your limbs can do what they want. All right, if you can keep this central cylinder nice and sturdy, then your limbs can do what they like, but you will remain balanced. Okay, but a lot of us, we struggle with engaging our trunk, our core, because it's just something that we don't do much now. You know, we sit down a lot, which automatically switches off our core. You know, we're not as a society in whole, we're not as active in ways that we used to be, you know, our ancestors used to be. All right, so to start with, to engage your core, I have covered this a tiny bit in my other class, so I'll talk you through, but we'll really focus on it today. So first of all, get yourself into a nice standing, comfortable position. Okay, so feet should be wherever, which direction they point normally. Okay, nice and relaxed. You should have a bit of a swing in your legs, so you're not rock solid. Okay, so you're just nice and balanced. You're going to place both hands on just kind of around your belly button. Okay, now when you engage your core, it's not a push out, it's a draw in. Okay, so you're going to pull your belly button towards your spine, so inwards towards the back of you. Nothing else should move other than your core. Okay, so the purpose of having your hands here is what you should feel is that your core moves very slightly away from your hands towards you. All right, it's really hard when I'm not in front of you to kind of, and I haven't got your feedback in terms of whether you can feel it or not. So all I can do is really explain to you how to do it and how it feels in the hope that you'll get it yourself. So hands on your core, just over your belly button. Draw your belly button inwards towards your spine, and you should feel that your hands drop into you a little bit more. Okay. If you give your core, it should feel a little bit firmer than it normally does. Okay, give it a relax. And then when we do it this second time, what I'd like you to do is focus on your breathing whilst you pull inwards. So the ability to breathe and keep that pull at the same time means that you're really working these core muscles and not just increasing the pressure with your diaphragm. Okay, so hands on your core. Take a deep breath in and then take a deep breath out. When you take a deep breath out, I'd like you to pull inwards. Hold that feeling whilst you breathe in and out again. Now I can't obviously do this while I'm talking, okay? but I can hear Jono breathing next to me. So hopefully you guys are at home too. Okay, and relax. We'll do it once more. So hands on your core. Take a deep breath in. Take a breath outwards. But as you breathe out, squeeze your belly button inwards. Keep that squeeze feeling whilst you take a big breath in and another breath out. And then relax the feeling. Okay, so hopefully you felt that or felt a little bit of something, all right? That just helps you engage this core, makes it tight and solid, okay?
Like trying to squeeze into a gap. If you're going sideways.
Yeah, so Jono's just said, I don't know if you can hear him, so he's just said it's almost like you're trying to squeeze into a gap. So you're trying to, you know, shimmy past something, all right? And you want to pull your belly button inwards, all right? So it's trying to find something that means you can do it, okay? The other one I like to say is if I went to poke Jono now, instinctively, he would tighten and he would pull in because he doesn't want for me to poke him, okay? So it's almost like that, all right? So now we're going to incorporate that with our single leg stand. So we should all be familiar with our single leg stand by now. So you're going to get into the position of your single leg stand when I say go. And then whilst you're balancing, you're going to try and get that pull in feeling, okay? So we'll just do it for 30 seconds each leg to start with. Hopefully you're understanding what I'm saying. As I said, it is very difficult when I can't sort of communicate with you and get your feedback at the same time. But hopefully you're getting a little bit of what I'm saying. So holding on to something, I recommend you do hold on, even if you're used to doing this without holding on, just because you're adding a different element into it, okay? So standing onto one leg, take that other leg behind, lift it off the floor so that you're on one leg. Let me start the timer now. And now the other hand that's not holding on, if you can only hold on with one hand, is going to come on your stomach. And you're going to think about that pulling in feeling whilst you stand on one leg, okay? So if you're having trouble with it, just squeeze and let go, and then squeeze and let go. If you can really get that feeling and you can hold it whilst breathing, then go ahead and do so, all right? So pull it in, down, release the belly button in. Other leg. Now let's to the other. Okay. So let's get the easy bit out of the way first. Shift that body weight onto your standing leg. Lift the other one off the floor so you're on one leg. I'll just start the timer and then you're going to go again. So pull that belly button in. Squeeze your belly inwards. Okay. See if you can hold. You must keep breathing. Otherwise, all you're doing is just cheating by holding your breath and squeezing downwards. Okay. So pull in, really squeeze inwards while you stand on one leg. Okay. Last few seconds. Good, and relax. So the idea with this belly squeeze is that you are increasing the tension in your trunk, which means that it's more compact and therefore it's more solid, so you should be able to balance better. Now the tricky part that we have now is that it might be a move you're very unfamiliar with, therefore trying to stand on one leg and do the squeeze at the same time is a lot of information, which means it's harder to balance. But the idea is the more you get used to that tight feeling, it will help you get a bit more balanced. It's also useful for things when you've got to pick something up, particularly if you're picking something up on one side only. So if you have one shopping bag, okay, and it's quite heavy and you can only pick it up with one side, if you can get used to pulling that core in as you pick up, your spine is automatically more protected, so you're less likely to yank it and pull and cause yourself damage. So it's quite a key sort of technique to be able to do. All right, let's get on with some more stuff. So this next one, we are going to also use that core engagement, but you're going to do a reverse crunch sat on a chair. So hopefully you all have chairs. So if you've done my other classes, you'll be familiar with this one. Let me just make sure you can see. Okay, So sitting in the front part of your chair. Let me turn completely sideways, actually, that might make it easier. There we go. So sitting in the front part of your chair. The movement, I'll just go through the movement first of all, if you're not familiar, okay, is a lean back and a sit forward. But we're going to add it in with this core engagement. So whilst you're just sat there, feet flat on the floor, you're going to pull that belly button inwards, okay? Really try and keep that squeeze as you lean backwards, okay? Come back as far as you feel comfortable, and then you sit straight back up again, all right? So let's go again. So sitting up tall, bring that belly button in, hands out, leaning back, rolling in your seat bones, and sit forward and relax. Hopefully you're getting this. So your belly is squeezing in whilst you do the movement, then you can relax it whilst you're sat up, okay? And then go again. I won't time this one, just do a few of them. Okay, don't forget that relax in between. So it's the belly in, hands out, slowly roll back on your seat bones, and then sit up and hands down. And then repeat, belly in, hands out, roll back on your seat bones, sit back up and relax. We'll do one more, squeeze the belly in, hands out, roll back on your seat bones, back up and relax. Good, okay, so that's quite a nice one because you're incorporating an abdominal exercise whilst that squeeze feeling is happening. So now you're kind of hitting your core double whammy to get it really nice and strong, okay? Right then, just move my chair, standing up everybody. Okay, so we're going to move slightly away from the core engagement now, just in case you haven't quite understood what I've been blathering on about. And we're going to go for a bit more balanced, focused exercises. So this next one, I might need, yeah, we'll just have to stagger ourselves a little bit, otherwise I'm going to kick Jono. So let me show you the movement first of all. You're going to start by standing on one leg, okay? I've got my chair in front of me, but I need to have it just a little bit of a stretch away, okay? So one leg is lifted, keeping my leg straight. I'm going to take it out behind me as I bend my other knee, okay? I'm trying to think what this is like. I can't really think of any movement that I can describe to you that this is sort of similar to, but let's walk through it step by step. So your first point is to stand with your hands outstretched, holding on to the back of your chair, okay? The second one is lift from your hip so that you have one leg straight on the floor and the other leg is off the floor but still straight. There's a little hip up, okay? Then what you need to do is start taking that straight leg behind you as if you're wiping something off of your shoe, okay? When it gets back far enough that you can go, you need to bend your knee and push it back a little further. Can you see that? Okay, we'll do the same leg. So standing on one leg, keep that other one straight, push it behind you, and then bend the other knee and bring your chest down to the floor and back up. So it's almost like if you do my other class and we do those movements where we do an arm back or we do a row, okay, and you've got bent knees and your chest is to the floor, it's almost that same position, but your other leg is out straight, so you have to balance, all right? Let's do one more this side, then we'll change legs. So hip, lift that hip up, so you're standing on one leg, take that straight leg behind you, bend your knee and bring yourself so you're looking down at the floor and back up. Let's change legs. Again, really difficult to see if you're getting this one, but hopefully you are. The idea is that you're standing on one leg as you bend forward, okay? So whether you've got the perfect technique or not, doesn't really matter so much because we're just focusing on balancing whilst you move in either direction, okay? So lift that leg off the floor, take it behind, bend that knee, lean forward, and then back up. Go again. This is a really good one for your leg strength as well, because your leg has to work quite hard to keep everything in line. All right, we'll do one more. Take it behind and then back in. Good, okay. So, last couple. Now, we've done our heel stand before, okay, where you bring your toes off of the floor. So we're going to do that to start with, just to get your brain thinking about the right position. And then we're going to move into a heel walk, okay? So, can you see my feet from that position? Hopefully you can. So, start with both feet on the floor, fairly close together, okay? Looking straight ahead. Try and keep your body up tall. Very slightly, you're going to lift your toes and the balls of your feet off the floor. Now, remember what I said last week. You may need to counteract it very slightly by bringing your body forward just a few centimeters, nothing drastic, okay? Just keep those toes off the floor. Okay, drop your feet flat, give them a little shake, reset, and let's go again. So toes coming off the floor, counteract it by a very, very slight forward lean and balancing on just your heels. Good, and relax. Okay, so now we're going to transfer it into heel walking. I actually find heel walking easier than a heel stand. So if you struggle with the heel stand, persevere for this one because you may find it easier. Now, my recommendation is that you have something to hold on to as you walk, or you've got something either side that you can quickly lean on if you need to. So if you're by a wall, perfect. If you've got a sofa next to you, brilliant. Okay, just think about your safety whilst you do this one. So you're going to come onto your heels. You're going to take just a couple of steps, actually maybe 3 or 4 on your heels, and then flatten your feet. Then reset again, bring your toes off the floor, take 4 steps, let's go for 4, and then down again. All right? I'm going to just scoot back so I can walk forward again. Okay, so toes off the floor, you might need to lean forward very slightly, and then take those steps. Try and go as slow as you can. It's very, very tempting to speed up. I know I'm tempted to. But really try and keep yourself slow. Don't be tempted to put those toes down unless you really need to. We'll do one more. John and I will just walk forward one more time. Last few steps with this, just on your heels. Hopefully none of you are wearing stilettos. You might be missing going out and wearing heels. Lovely stuff. Okay then. Brilliant. Come back to your chairs. So that kind of gives you a way of progressing up what we've already done. So we've kind of been introducing the heel stand, and now we can progress it into a heel walk. It's very strange. You wouldn't do it ever in life, but it's quite a good skill to, you know, trust yourself that you can walk on your heels. Okay. So let's finish with our lovely stretches. So we'll go bottom to top today. So we'll start with a calf stretch. So heel out in front of you. Can you see me there? Yep. Okay. So leg out straight, toes up. We're doing a different one today. I just realised, I don't know why I didn't think of this before. So in this position, your leg is out in front. Okay. Your knee is straight. And you're pulling your toes up as much as you can. Really pull those toes up to the ceiling, okay? Really, really pull. See if you get that feeling. You might not find it as strong as your other calf stretch, but it just gives you a different way of stretching your calf. If you find this position quite taxing on the other knee, this one's quite nice to do, okay? Let's switch and do the other leg, see how you find this one. So, heel on the ground. Pull that foot up, bring those toes as much towards you as you can. Imagine you've got your shoelace and you're pulling it up this way, okay? See what kind of feeling you get there. Hold a little bit longer and relax. Good. So this one actually works the muscles that come up the front of your shin because you're having to pull your toes up. It's quite a good exercise, but it should also release the back of your leg. Okay. So next one, we're going to do our hamstring stretch. So same position as you've just done, but this time push those hips behind you. Okay. So you've got one leg out straight in front, the other leg bent. Again, it's that hip back position that we've talked about a lot today. Okay. That other leg, you should feel the stretch right into the back of the knee or the back of the leg. Okay. Just hold that for a little bit longer. Really stretching that out. Good. Slowly back up, and we're going to change legs. Take that leg out in front, nice and straight. Push those hips behind you. Really reach back with your hips. Okay. And then see how that other leg feels in comparison to the other one. Good. Rise up out of that one. Now let's do our lovely quad stretch. So holding on if you need to, kicking that leg behind, grab hold of the ankle, keeping those knees fairly close together. Try and get that balancing knee straight. Okay. So you should stretch all the way from your hip down to the front of your knee. Good. Change sides. Lovely. Relax that down. Now we're going to go for our side reach. So you need your feet a little bit wider than normal. Okay. We'll stick with one side to start with. We're going to go towards the left, but with our right hand. Okay. So left hand goes on your hip. With your right hand, you're going to reach over to the left and then back to the middle. Over to the left, middle. Notice again, my knees are soft. My hips are pushing over to my right as I lean to the left. Almost as if my hands and my hips are trying to go in opposite directions. Okay, couple more of this, staying on the same side to start with. We'll do the second side in a minute. Good, now change over. So it's going to be your right hand on your hip, okay? Soften your knees. Left hand is going to go over to the right, hips to the left, okay? Hands to the right, hips to the left. Push them in opposite directions. Keep those knees nice and soft. Two more. Very good. Okay, next one. Oh, I've lost my piece of paper. We are going to go for our T-spine rotation. So again, let's do hands on knees. Okay, so my hands are on my knees in a slightly bent position. So I'm resting on my knees. Okay, Jono is directly behind me. We're going to do some kind of double act in a second. So one hand comes straight down in front of you. Keep that elbow straight. Don't take your eyes off that hand as you twist to the sky/ceiling. And then back down. Then twist up again, nice and steady. Really try and get your hand as far back as you can. Really point it up to the sky. We'll do two more of this side. Open out that arm. Keep that elbow straight, directly up to the sky. Good. Slowly down and then change sides. So hand in front, twist up to the sky and down again. Very good. Three more on this side. Keep that elbow straight. Slowly twist up to the sky. One more. and back down. Very good. Okay, we have last two. We have our chest stretch. So hands together, hands and elbows together, I should say. Remember that spine, your spine should not move. Open those hands out. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then bring them back. Open them out again. Really squeeze those shoulder blades as far back as you can get them. And then slowly back in. Two more. Pull back. And in. Imagine that your hands are the pages of a book. And you're opening out that book as far as it can go. Good. And close together. Lovely stuff. Last one is our shoulder one. So hands in this position. Pull those shoulder blades back. Make sure that spine doesn't arch, okay? Tuck your tailbone underneath you if that's the case. So, arms up. Slowly push them up towards the sky as far as you can. Then slowly back down. And again, push up and down. Remember what I said before? Imagine you're flat back against a wall and you're sliding your hands up the wall and then down again. So from the side, hopefully, my arms should move in roughly a straight line. Okay? And my spine doesn't change. We'll do two more. Keep them steady. Really reach up as high as you can go. Really good stretch for your body. And the last one, pushing up. And then relax down. Well done, everybody. Give yourselves a round of applause.